Welcome to Breaking the Chains. I am Bakita. I am so freaking excited right now. I am talking to Randon, and so much I could say, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let you introduce yourself,
Okay.
and then we're going to go into why I'm so excited to talk to you.
Okay. Well, my name is Randon Taylor. I am originally from Oklahoma, mostly born and raised there. Stepfather was in the Army, so we moved around a lot, but we spent most of our time in Lawton, Oklahoma. Right now, I am a PhD candidate at the University of Miami. My study is sociology, but I have an emphasis on public health and medical sociology. My whole, I guess, shtick right now is, and really the direction I'm going for is trying to figure out ways to produce Black health. What are the ways in which, Black folks can become healthier? And particularly what I'm doing right now is I'm looking at, and for my dissertation, I'm looking at if this behavior of African Americans moving to Ghana is a healthy behavior. Is it a health producing behavior? Do African Americans feel healthier in Ghana compared to the United States? So that's what I'm doing right now. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
No, thank you so much for talking to me. So the first thing I want to ask you is, of all of the topics you could have chosen for your dissertation, why did you choose this topic?
Well, okay, so I've been looking at, so ever since I came into a sort of consciousness or what they call wokeness nowadays,
right.
I've always been looking towards Africa. I mean, the thing is, in America, if you have any kind of consciousness, you feel and you know that something is wrong, something is off all the time. And
Absolutely.
It's something I just can't shake,
Right.
So I've been looking at YouTube videos of African Americans moving to Ghana and their experiences in Ghana for like the last 5 years, and starting in my master's degree. But I couldn't figure out the right way to approach it, or how to study it. There's been a few people who have looked at it from like an ideological standpoint, like Pan-Africanism, a historical standpoint, because there's been many movements back to Africa. There was a movement by his name was Chief Sam in Oklahoma, Louisiana, all across the United States.
Yep.
So I finally started to think about, okay, what if this is, how does this look from a health standpoint? Because people are going over here and a lot of people are actually staying. So they must feel better in a sense. So how do I approach it from a health perspective? And then I took a public health class, and public health is all about, ways in which population health scientists can produce health amongst groups of people. And I was like, okay, well, what if this behavior of moving to Ghana is a healthy behavior? If they're going over there and staying, I mean, like I said, they got to feel healthier in some sense. So
Absolutely.
That's how I came to it.
Okay. So how did you decide that you were going to collect the data? Like, how did you go about collecting your data?
So I'm still in the process. So in my study, I have it's a 2-part study. So the first part is a quantitative study. I'm just using data to show that there is a relationship between perceived racial discrimination and the health outcomes of African Americans. We already know this. This is all in the literature.
Right.
I mean, there's thousands of ways that perceiving racial discrimination impacts our health negatively. I mean, even with
Absolutely.
People theorizing that it actually changes our gene expression nowadays, our epigenetics.
Absolutely.
It gets that deep. I mean, it affects how mothers. It affects mothers in pregnancy. So it affects the baby in the womb. So it affects our health in thousands of ways. And so I knew I wouldn't have time to, survey 1,000 African Americans in Ghana. So the second part of my study was just looking at, okay, so I decided to interview 20 African Americans using a method called grounded theory methodology, and kind of look for the common things they say about their health outcomes in Ghana. So concerning their mental health, physiological health, spiritual health, and what things about Ghana, or what we would say, what social factors in Ghana play into their perceptions of health in Ghana.
Right.
So
wow,
I'm just interviewing people right now, and it's been, I mean, the conversations I've had with people have been absolutely amazing, and they give me life. I mean, you were the first person I talked to, and it was just an amazing conversation. Like
it was
really deep. I think we talked like 2 hours or something like that.
We ended up talking for like 2 hours, because I think even just talking to you about it kind of revealed some things for me, because I'm like, oh, I never even thought about that part of it. So the research, just even being a part of your research, I was honored, and I really appreciate you choosing me to be a part of your research. And it also gave me a lot to think about as far as the whys. And I think, because I always tell people, you should understand your why. Like, why are you moving to Africa? Like, what is it?
Yes.
And so our conversation ended up being like 2 hours. It's like, oh snap, we've been talking this long.
And that's the thing. A lot of people don't really think about, why, unless you bring it up to them. Why do you feel like this? What is it about Ghana exactly? And since you don't think about it until you actually talk about it, that's when things start to come to you,
Yeah.
And that's what I try to pull out of the interviews, because most of the people are really saying the same thing.
Really?
So,
that's okay. I'm not gonna go into that yet. How long did you research? I'm so eager to hear what your preliminary results are. But let's because I want to make sure people have a clear understanding that you're actually doing real research. So, how long is your how long have you been at it? Because I know it was a couple of months ago, I think I talked to you. So you've been researching for a few months.
Yeah. It was, I think, November sometime, or even late October. But, the first part of my research is actually because my advisor has me write out the first 3 chapters of my dissertation. So, getting the literature together and then talking about the different like social philosophies that are operating within Ghana. Of course, you have Pan-Africanism, but you also have the clashing of like, really white supremacy, because most of the institutions are still British,
Right.
So you have these clashing social philosophies that I had to write about. And, it's been really, really exciting. So I've been writing on this since I started like last May, but I've been gathering data for years. Okay. Like I have a whole YouTube playlist of nothing but African Americans moving to Ghana, and their videos. So I use that for data. So I've been gathering data for years. So,
and I'm sure that probably made the process a little easier too, right?
Oh, yeah.
The fact that we're actually documenting these things ourselves. And one of the things that I really was so excited about was that instead of it being somebody else doing this research on us, it's actually a young Black man who, and the agenda is not, I'm sure is not there. So, in speaking of which, what is the agenda? Like, what's the end game here?
Well, see, the thing is, to be honest with you, I get a little frustrated with like sociologists, health researchers, because all we're doing is just producing research that shows the thousands upon thousands of ways that racism impacts Black Americans. We know pretty much everything now,
right.
But people aren't really looking at ways that we can improve Black life. I mean, there's people that write about suggestions and solutions, but they're all really empty in a lot of ways,
right.
They're treated as very trivial. So, my end game is, of course, like many of your end games, is to show African Americans that they have other options. In the West, the West gives you all the conveniences, but if you don't have peace of mind and quality of life, it doesn't mean anything.
What is it? It doesn't mean anything.
Exactly. So that's my end game. Going forward, I'm going to be looking at how, Black British, Black Caribbean, Black Caribbean, how they feel also about, moving to Africa. What are their perceptions of their mental health and well-being? Because, Black British, they go through a lot of same things that Black Americans do. They're also racialized.
Right.
And that's a whole social process in of itself. But I'm just looking at, doing
And
things. Yeah, exactly. Black Canadians,
Yeah.
So, our health and well-being.
I'm just so enamored by this work that you're doing. Like, this is so amazing. It's so important, and I think that if we can show that hard data that this is not only good for I just want to go back to Africa, but it's good for your peace of mind. Because if you can't have a peace of mind, what can you do? And for me, it's like, what could we, if we was able to accomplish all of what we've accomplished in America under the stress and strain and oppression of white supremacy, what can we do if it's not looming over us?
Exactly. And that's what, in America, I talk about racism and discrimination as like, it's a weight and it weighs you down over your entire life, and if you can survive that and come to wherever you're at in Africa or whatever, if you can be in a better and healthier social context, there's nothing that can stop you, I mean, almost nothing,
Right. So let's discuss your preliminary findings.
Okay. Let me pull up my notes.
Yes, sir. Please. I am so interested. While you're pulling up your notes, was there any resistance to talking with you or to participating in the study?
I mean, if somebody's going to give resistance, they're going to decline in the first place. So I'm not tripping off that. If you don't want to talk, it's what it is. There's like thousands of African Americans in Ghana, so I just need 20 people to go with this research.
Right.
But I haven't faced that much resistance. I'm still in the process of gathering people, so this is my first time being in Africa and being in Ghana, and the feeling is just, I mean, it's almost hard to describe, but I'm doing really well.
Yeah, I can't. We're gonna get to the fact that you're actually in Africa now. Like, we're gonna get to that, but I want us to talk about your findings. Let's see what you have so far. Like, give me like a little rundown.
So let me say this. So first thing first, every single gesture that the American government does for, symbolically does for Black Americans or even other racial and ethnic minorities, civil rights, everything, affirmative action, everything every gesture they try to do to appease Black Americans is always going to be palliative. That means that it's always going to be a Band-Aid because they never want to tackle the actual issue. It is what it is. So given that, and especially, some people have this thing about, well, Black Americans, if they have money, then they'll be better off. Well, the research shows overwhelmingly that even when you're in the upper class as a Black American, you still have worse health outcomes than all other races.
Absolutely.
You may have access to better doctors and stuff like that, but to be honest, the doctors may kill you.
Exactly.
This stuff is deep.
It's very deep.
So, and it is very deep. And no matter what institution we talk about, it can be the medical system, policing, it can be education. All of these institutions operate off of white supremacy. And no matter like the narrative that these institutions have, so the medical system, the narrative is to heal, to give care. Yes. It doesn't matter. The overwhelming narrative is white supremacy. And there's a certain way of looking at and dealing with Black bodies. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
But as far as my preliminary results, so let's see. So the first thing that really grabbed me was I've had two people state that they've had a subsistence of autoimmune disorders. So like arthritis, There was another one, I can't forget, what it was, but as far as like certain autoimmune diseases, they said that that those symptoms have completely subsided, which is
wow,
crazy, because it probably wouldn't happen in America by its own. Yeah. So from being in Ghana to now, they said that they don't have any more of those symptoms. Of course, in general, there's a lot less stress that these people are reporting. The thing is, people, these people are talking about how in America, there's a constant concern with bills. Of course, the race issue, the issue of race for white people, because, race is a white issue. They have an issue with people's, different color. It's not our issue. It's not our issue. It's their issue.
Right.
Let me see what else. Proximity to family drama. So, of course, we know there's a lot of family drama in America, but kind of being away from all that, it relieves a lot of stress.
Right.
A reduction in anxiety and blood pressure. Of course, less stress, less anxiety and blood pressure. And I don't know if you can relate to this, but one woman I talked to said that her monthly periods were shorter and less painful. So,
absolutely.
And then, so let me see what else. Of course, as you know, in Ghana, there's a lot easier access to fresh food, fresh vegetables, because they're selling everything on a corner. So in general, just a better quality of life. This does not mean that Ghana is perfect. We know that Ghana is a developing nation.
Right.
But if you come with the right expectations, according to these preliminary results, just that peace of mind is really resulting in a lot of healthy benefits. So
have any of them spoken of their emotional or spiritual?
Yeah. First of all, most of the people I talked to already said that the reason they came here was they were spiritually compelled. And when they got here, they felt like they were in tune or they were centered in a certain way with their spirituality.
Right.
Emotionally, of course, again, because they're so far away from what's going on in America. Because America, we have to understand that, the thing of race and bills, and especially race. So like whatever happens on TV to somebody who looks like us, it impacts us vicariously.
Exactly.
It works on our mental health, and the research shows that. So given that these things happen every week or every 2 weeks or whatever, this is a constant traumatization, and it works on our mind. And as we know, there's a theory called weathering, and we know that Black health weathers or erodes quicker and ages Black people quicker than other races of people because of all the stress and trauma. So, the absence of these stressors all the time in your face has a lot of healthy benefits. And from what I'm getting from the preliminary results is really amazing.
That's so amazing. I'm so happy to hear the preliminary results.
Yes.
I'll be happy to talk to you once you finish your dissertation. Yes. And have your your complete results. You are in Ghana now. When I talked to you, you were not in Ghana. You were planning on it, maybe, hopefully, but you're in Ghana. You've been there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I know 2 weeks isn't a long time, but I know for me, it didn't take long. What are you feeling? Tell me how you are feeling. You are my research right now. So tell me, how are you feeling?
Excellent question. Excellent question. So first of all, when we first talked, I was in DC. I was staying with a family member, and there was an issue with this family member, and this family member wasn't used to somebody staying with him. I had moved up from Miami to stay a month or two with him, but he wasn't used to staying with people. So one morning I woke up literally in the middle of the morning, like 4:00 a.m. And when I woke up, I'm gonna just say this, like God said, go. It's time to go to Africa right now, go. Wow. So when I woke up that morning, I booked everything, got everything in order, got my, passport ready, all that, went and, found a vaccination for yellow fever. And I just came. Like when I first came, I had a 24-hour layover in Nairobi. Okay. Then after that, I flew to Ghana. And the hardest thing has been, to be honest, shedding this American, in America, I'm always on guard. Like when I walk past people, you kind of tense up and you kind of get ready, just in case something might fall.
Absolutely.
And that's all the time. That's
all the time.
Yeah, and it's just like, Ayo Dele, he's been like kind of coaching me on how to like get through all this. And he's like, Randy, you got to relax. Like you have to relax and just don't let your guard all the way down, but just relax a little bit. So the hardest part has been trying to shed that hard exterior, because when I walk past these people out here, they don't mean no harm. They trying to watch football and, easy going, very easy going. So that's been hard for me. But, when I'm walking out here, it's a peace of mind that you can't put a price on, honestly.
So now you know what I was saying when I was like, it's hard to really quantify what it is.
You can't quantify
it. It's just like, it literally took me about, I ain't gonna front, it took me about 6 months to shed that thing.
See, and that's the thing, because at first, when Ayo Daly told me that, I was good for like 2 or 3 days. And then it came right back up. So I'm walking around feeling tense, like kind of with a mug on my face, you know? So
yeah.
But these people are, these are the most beautiful Black folks I've ever seen in my life. These folks are beautiful. I've seen, how they ride a little mopeds, the motorcycles. I've seen these people, ride past each other. They have beef with each other and they start like talking stuff to each other. But like, that's it. They just drive off.
They just keep going.
Guns come out. No guns, no fighting. They talk a little stuff and they ride on, So,
and it sounds like it's about to go down. It sounds like it's about to go down.
Exactly. But it's
you're like, oh, yeah, it's about to go down. And then they just go on about it.
They go on separate ways. So that's a relief, because you ain't gotta think about nobody pulling out a strap. And then this is what I said to a friend the other day. In America, no matter what, how we dress, how we talk, our hairstyles, everything about us is always deviant because white is centered. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Out here, you have people with all types of braids, fades, everything. Like the way they walk, their confidence, their swagger. This is the norm. We are the norm, We are the center, and that just feels good. That's healthy for the mind. It's lovely.
It's lovely. So lovely. Oh God, I'm so glad you're getting to experience that, because I remember when I was talking to you, I could see it on your face, like, oh, I want to know what that feels like. Like, what are you talking about? And that's it, like that feeling of, and even though you still, you carry that weight for a while.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Even just the days when you can let it go for a minute.
Yes.
Oh man, it's addictive. And
it is.
I know that you're gonna be there for a while. I'm interested to see if your butt even come back.
Exactly, because I was telling somebody I was like, man, I don't even want to go home. Like, I'm cool. I'm straight.
I know. I already know. Like, especially if you have a means of taking care of yourself.
Oh yeah.
What's the point?
Yes.
Like, what's the point in coming back into the lion's den?
Exactly.
When you can literally just relax, like, and even if your work, like, for a lot of people who work remotely in Ghana, for the most part, their day starts really late because you're 5 hours ahead. So your day gets to start much later as far as work goes. It's just a whole lot better, so to speak.
Oof.
But anyway, I'm just really I'm really happy that you're getting to experience Ghana, experience the peace that comes with not being in America, especially during this time. Today we're talking on January. It's January the 20th. Right now it's 11:29 p.m. In 30 minutes, they're going to be inaugurating our new commander-in-chief. And we have been the stress and strain and heaviness is at a whole nother level for us, because for our generation, we're dealing with stuff that our parents dealing with. Like,
but we believe the fairy tale that this stuff was over in a certain sense, you know? I mean, these people, because, and my argument is that people really like conflate the fact that technology is advancing for people becoming more civilized. It's just not true. These people, they're the same people. I mean, these sentiments, these sentiments are what they're the engine of America. White supremacy and racism is the engine of America. And if you don't even want to talk about racism, just think about it in a socially dominant context. So they want to dominate. And that's because there's social, political, economic, and psychological benefits to dominating other people, at least for them, you know? So it is what it is.
It is what it is. You know, I was talking with my mom this morning, me and my mom and my husband. My husband, I think I told you, is Ghanaian. And he last night, while we were laying there and we both watching different things, and he was watching the Tulsa riot from way back when. And then I sent him the video of the move, and he was just floored. He's like, the move that happened in 1985.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, I'm telling you, we have been under constant attack in this place. They want to make the world feel like this stuff it went away when slavery ended. We have been under constant attack.
Exactly.
In 1985, I was 5 years old. You probably was born by then. You might have been born by then. But this thing it's a real and constant threat to our health.
That's what it is.
And our well-being. Yeah. And so on January the 6th, when the white people stormed the Capitol, any Black person who is relatively conscious, not surprised.
Exactly.
Not surprised. We sitting here eating popcorn.
Yeah, exactly.
We told y'all. We know this. Y'all don't know.
It's tiring. It's exhausting. Come on now.
Exhausting. It is so exhausting.
Yes.
And at this point, I'm like, okay, so now we're getting a new regime.
Exactly.
And what is that going to change for us?
Exactly. I'm tired. I'm tired of the myths and the dreams and the lofty language. I'm exhausted of it. I'm tired of it. I can't take no more. So
you can't take it no more. And I'm pretty sure, I'm willing to bet that you will end up being one of our new repatriates.
In time.
I'm sure. Like I'm sure that you'll probably end up doing something like what I do, which is go back and forth. Like,
oh yeah, I can see that.
Once you've been out of here for a little while, coming back is hard. So I'm predicting that you'll probably come for a little while, and as soon as you can get away, you'll go back over there, because the truth of the matter is, being away from here, when you come back, it helps you to deal with it a little bit better.
Yes.
Because you know you can go somewhere, you know you have an option.
Exactly.
And the whole idea is that we want to let our people know that there are other options.
That's right. That's right.
It doesn't have to be Ghana. There are 54 countries in Africa.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be Africa. There are 195 nations of this world. So you got 194 other countries that you can explore rather than to be under this constant state of oppression.
Exactly. Exactly.
I want to thank you so much for your research. Thank you for your dedication to our people.
Oh, no problem.
What you're doing is work for our people.
Definitely.
And we need more of it. We need more of it. I'm hoping that your research will inspire more young men and women to do the same, do something similar, figure out what it is and how we can improve our health physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yes.
And understand that America is not the world.
Yeah, exactly. And let me say this before we get off the interview. You know, although the preliminary results are showing that people are healthier and they have a better quality of life, America teaches you something, and you develop skills in America that I think are very important. For instance, you know, in America, you know the threat, what the threat is, you know, because it's in your face. It's direct.
It's clear and present.
It's clear and present. So, and there's certain things that you can take from America that you can really apply here as far as like building businesses and stuff like that. So, you know, although America, honestly, it slowly destroys your health over time. It does. But there are things that you can learn and take from that experience and apply over here and do really well. So, you know, wherever you're at in this life, you know, you got to be able to learn something and apply it somewhere else. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm so grateful for what you're doing. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me and share your preliminary results. I'm hoping that you'll come back and speak with me again about what you come up with finally. And I also would love to talk with you about your experience in Ghana once you come back on this side.
Yeah,
so I may be on that side, or I probably whenever I come, it'll by the time I get there, you'll have been there for a month or two, and we can talk again on camera.
Let's do lunch or something like that. I'll be here.
All right, thank you so much. You go and enjoy the rest of your day in beautiful Ghana.
Definitely.
And I'll talk with you soon.
Stay healthy.
Yes, you too.
Okay, definitely.
All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
All right.